I thought we were talking about accounting. Come on, Rosie, what's going on? These are like personal questions.
But this is accounting and life, work-life balance.
Well, this is life, that's for sure.
Wow, so after you left ISM, you wanted to run away of working 100 hours per week to a regional firm. So when you work at the regional size firm, how many hours did you work when you work at the wealth management department at that time?
It was probably about 40 to 48 hours a week, dependent, because it wasn't based around deadlines, right? I mean, I'm not, tax season is, you got March 15, April 15, you've got quarterlies, you've got the second half of tax season. Like it's just the volume of work to try to get it done before the deadline. With the wealth management practice, it's really just relationships. You're just trying to, you're trying to maintain and manage relationships. When there are changes in the market, you look, do we need to make changes to the portfolio? Changes in their life impact the portfolio, so we got to make changes there. So it's just more consultative and not really focused around deadlines.
Wow. So that's a huge jump from working 100 hours to only 40 and 50 hours per week. You have all free time.
I had a lot of, you could say that. It also didn't help that I made that transition in 2020, like in February of 2020. And so 1 month after I started there, COVID happened. And then I'm stuck at the house for the next, 6 months or however long it was.
Longer than that.
Yeah. Well, we started going back to the office, I think, in maybe September, maybe it was towards the end of the year. I don't quite recall, but so that was a challenge in and of itself. And, that job, some wealth management positions are very driven by business development. And that one was definitely driven by business development, right? You have to go drive revenue by getting new business. And in COVID, that was a challenge, right? Because the traditional methods of networking were no longer available. And you're kind of left doing cold calls or cold emails, warm calls, warm emails, trying to find creative ways to get in touch with people to, to manage their money. In a time where the world is melting down and people are just going into scarcity. They're not going to invest when the market just fell, 50%, although that's probably a great time to do it. Right.
Yeah.
And so I would say, I had the opportunity to pivot at that point back to tax with that company. And I chose not to do it, just so I could focus on building that skill set. And then, I learned that skill, some of the skills there, the investment side, I learned a lot more. I learned it pretty well. Doing the comprehensive financial plans, there's some components of that, especially around the investment side, that it's just not taught on the CPA side. I got my insurance license, so I learned a lot about insurance planning, investment planning, and then took that knowledge and the resources that I got there and pivoted to do my own thing.
Wow. It's really interesting to me when you from very strong foundation, very general background, and you go up, and then you pick wealth management as your main niche. But at the same time, you also have a CPA firm. You run both at the same time. And I know that you did mention to me at another conversation that these two companies, the two firms actually support to each other. Can you explain a bit more? How do you manage these two companies? Because tax firm will be so much focusing on deadlines and wealth management will be more flexible, but you still have to work so many hours with the deadline from the tax firm.
Yeah.
How do you find time?
Yeah. So the CPA firm is a full, Deblanc, Murphy & Murphy is a full service CPA firm, right? So we do audit, tax, bookkeeping, consulting, payroll, everything. We have right now 15 people on staff, right? So I have a team that can get that work done. So I'm not, I review returns. I meet with clients. I manage the business. I try to acquire new clients, and I talk to existing clients. So that's kind of what I do in the accounting firm, and review tax returns and review work. I'm generally not the guy doing the preparation, right? And sometimes I'm not even the guy doing the review. I'm doing like a quality control review and sign off. It goes through a process. Now, I have clients at that firm where we do a comprehensive suite of services for these guys. So we're going to do their bookkeeping. We do their tax planning. We do their tax prep. We do business consulting. We do personal consulting. Those clients are great because, and this is my strategy. I focus is bookkeeping. Of all things, bookkeeping is the focus for the firm. Accountants do bookkeeping quite well, right? So if we can do bookkeeping, we can do your tax return. Makes the tax return really easy to do. If we can do the tax return, we can do the tax planning. We already have the data, right? If we can do the tax planning, we can quantify, savings, value that we're creating through tax planning. We can take that savings, move it over to the wealth management firm. And now, again, we're not just saving you $10,000 a year in taxes over here. We're creating millions of dollars of value for you over your lifetime. And so it becomes this comprehensive suite of services. So they really do work with each other. And, most of the clients that I work with on the wealth management side are tax clients. And so usually what happens is, we have a business owner. We're doing their books. We're doing their tax planning. We're doing their tax return. We do a business valuation for them. They sell their business. They now have a chunk of money. We figure out their tax payments, and they have an amount left over. Hey, Chris, what do I do with this money? Oh, well, let's do a comprehensive financial plan, a personal financial plan that looks at retirement, any lump sum goals, lump sum purchases, goals planning, college planning for the kids, any of that stuff, insurance, estate planning. Let's move it over to this wealth management practice over here, which is it's a sister company, and we'll manage it for you. We'll put the plan together, and then we'll execute the plan. And that execution has an investment strategy attached to it, and we'll execute that strategy. So that's how they work together. So when you say, how do you manage the wealth management practice from the tax practice, they're separate businesses, they're separate legal entities. But the engagements themselves, the clients are the same. I'm working with the same clients here that I'm working with here. It's just, a different, the scope of work is a little bit different, but it's still, they're still tax clients. So that's really, I don't think at this time I have any wealth management clients that are not also tax clients.
So back in 2020, why do you think at that time was a good time for you to start your own, to purchase the practice and then do your own instead of working at the regional firm?
Well, okay, so 2020 was when I left RSM. And, after I had my first daughter in 2019, I did I went through that tax season. My kid didn't see me for 2 months, and I was like, we got a problem. And so I did basically a life assessment. I do a life assessment for clients. I figure out where are they at, where do they want to go, and how do we get you from here to there, right? That's a financial plan. I put myself through that, and I'm like, where am I at? Where do I want to be? What's wrong, right? Something didn't feel right. I'm not where I want to be. And so just doing that assessment, I answered some questions about myself that, I really wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be a business owner. I wanted to have this business system that works for me, that I can control and manipulate the direction, and then have an asset that can create a legacy for me and my family. I had built some of the skills necessary to do that over the 15 years prior of working in public accounting. And I had started my own tax prep shop. when I left right before I was leaving RSM. I was going through the process of doing it. Then I got this offer to go to this regional firm. I was like, that's a pretty good offer, so I'm going to go there for a while. That was probably a good move. It helped me, get through COVID. It helped me become in a better financial position. And it gave me some additional tools to be successful now. And, it just, circumstances got to the point there where, I was ready to go. I found the opportunity to acquire this firm, and I pulled the trigger.
Wow. How's your wife positioned in this journey?
How was my wife? So, well, I had to get buy-in from her, right? We do everything together. Yeah, we're an economic force. We're a singularity. And so I wasn't going to do anything without her support. Because if it all goes south, I got to rely on her financially, right? And, she's got her own struggles too. She is a senior manager at Deloitte, soon to be partner. So she's got a very strong career herself. That's very challenging. Being a business owner is extremely challenging. Having two little kids, that at the same time we're in diapers is very challenging. So trying to balance all those, her career, my career, and life, it's not it was not easy. It is not easy, and it is a daily struggle to find that balance. I probably work less hours than I did at RSM, only because I have to, right? Like at a certain time of the day, when my wife's still in the office and I'm at my home office, I have to stop and go relieve our nanny and take our kids. Like I have no other choice, right? Or these kids are running around the house, naked, breaking stuff and painting walls and whatever terrible things they do. Kids are great, but yeah, they're challenging. So it forces me to compartmentalize the business from the time with the kids. Because I'm trying to support her in her career. And then there are times when she's trying to support me as well. So, we just have to improve our communication, to make sure that the kids are taken care of, that, if we have meetings or something that we can't reschedule or something like that, one of us would have to give in order for the other to get. So it's difficult. That's for sure.
Yeah. Can you share with me a specific period of time that you and your wife went through a very challenging time, that you struggle with your career and she struggled with the career, and you both struggle with your family? And how did you both feel about that, and how did you both go over it?
Wow. I thought we were talking about accounting. Come on, Rosie, what's going on? These are like personal questions.
But this is accounting and life, work-life balance.
So this is life, that's for sure. Well, I mean, we're in it right now. My wife is a senior manager. She does a lot of things at Deloitte, where, sometimes she's leaving the house at like 4:00 to go to evening functions, and she's gone until, late hours of the, 9:00, 10:00 at night. In those instances, we just have to, I'm like, all right, that's something I know you have to do that. I will stop whatever I'm doing in order to make sure the kids are taken care of and make sure that you're supported. There are times in my business where I'm like, I absolutely have to leave the house early so that I can get to the office and prepare for this in-person client meeting. And I'm sorry, I know you have this phone call, but you have to do the phone call on a video with the kids running around in their diapers, in the background. Right. It's, and I think to that, we're understanding of that. And you just have to communicate. I schedule things with my wife, like I live by my Outlook calendar. And so If I know that my wife has to take the kids, I will send her a calendar invite, and I'm like, babe, you have to take the kids from this time to this time, and she will accept or decline. Like that, like that's a little bit weird, but both of us live by our Outlook, the calendars in Outlook. So finding, that's kind of a good tool to help us work through some of these issues. I have networking issues, that networking events that I go to in the evenings. I'll send her a calendar invite so that she knows I'm going to this thing and she can work her schedule through it. So.
Yeah, especially after all of this busy time, you also volunteer with AICPA as well. And volunteer with AICPA consume a lot of time.
Yeah, so I'm on the what is it, the Advanced Estate Planning Committee. So we kind of help put together the estate planning portion of the Engage conference. So we're finding topics, we're finding speakers, we're scheduling. We meet once a month for about an hour or sometime, and then as we lead up to the Engage conference, we're meeting like every week. Then there's Engage Plus, which is after the Engage conference, where it's a virtual conference. That was yesterday. I was actually presenting yesterday for that. Estate planning for digital assets, cryptocurrency, and things like that. So yes, I mean, I am involved in the profession. I enjoy it. You got to find things that you enjoy too. It's not all, you can't just be work, right? But I'll usually the AICPA stuff, it's during working hours, and so I'll book an hour, and sometimes it's during like lunch. I don't ever eat lunch. I don't take a lunch. Like I'll eat a bite of an apple when I have the opportunity to. So I will schedule these things. You can just see my calendar. It's like 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's usually booked solid, but I have to schedule time for myself too. So like I might schedule on a Friday evening. I block time off. So there's like from 3 to 5 on a Friday, nobody's allowed to book any time with me. I've got that to cover emails, do anything I need to prepare for the following week. So you just get really, really good with managing your time. Everybody has the same amount of time. So we just need to learn how to manage it more effectively. And I've learned those skills over the years.
Yeah. Can you share some benefits from volunteering with AICPA?
Yes, benefits. Well, as a volunteer, I don't have to pay for the Engage conference. That's a benefit.
That's expensive.
And so it's an expensive conference. I think the early bird specials might be around $1,300 or $1,400 for the all access pass. I think if you wait till the last minute, it's probably in the $1,500 or $1,600.
Hang on. What's the price you're telling me? It's like over 2,000.
Is that what it is? Oh, I guess I'm behind the times.
Yeah, that's probably years ago.
Oh, probably years ago. So all in, I mean, you could spend $4,000 or $5,000 on
Easily.
flights, the hotel, and the conference. So it's an investment, but I mean, I think it's the best investment you can make if you're a CPA, or if you're in the accounting industry in general. I've used that experience to build my firm. All right, I go to that. They have an exhibit hall where all these exhibitors, software developers, solutions, outsourced companies, people come there and they exhibit their businesses or their solutions. And these are people who are on the bleeding edge of technology in the industry of accounting. So if you want to build a firm that is a technologically advanced, advisory centric, or client focused firm, the AICPA really does a great job at giving you the tools to do that, and giving you, the knowledge, skills, and abilities through the training itself, all the courses, but also here are some off the shelf solutions that you can, implement in your practice to improve, make it more efficient, be more, streamlined, improve the client experience, improve your user experience. And so I've taken all the tools that I've learned from that and I've implemented them in my own practice in order to create a CPA firm that's on the bleeding edge of technology, advisory centric, client focused.
Oh, I see. I see. Because when I look at the volunteering at AICPA, I look at the hours and it say require 60 to 8. No, more than that. Like
Yeah.
good amount of hours per year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say the benefits outweigh the hours. I just listed all the benefits, right?
Yes.
But as far as the time commitment, it's probably an hour a month of actually doing work, sitting in meetings. There may be tasks to do after those meetings, like, hey, you have to, we came up with this topic. You have to go find speakers, or find a couple speakers who would be interested in that. So you got to call people. You might have to work on the schedule of courses. We're moderating too. So I moderate several of I think I moderated like nine events at 9 courses there. And so I have to research the speaker's bio, come up with my own script to talk about, the course and things like that. So there's some work involved, but it doesn't feel like a lot. That's for sure.
So besides volunteering with AICPA, do you volunteer with the state society as well?
Oh, when I was in Richmond, I was very involved with the state society because it's right there in Richmond, Virginia, because it's the state capital. Since I moved to Northern Virginia, there's less. I think they do less engagement in Northern Virginia. Plus now I'm in Maryland. The firm's in Maryland. I live in Virginia. I'm a Virginia licensed CPA. We have clients in DC, Maryland, Virginia, because we're right in that DC metro area. I'm not terribly involved in it now. I guess I might be more involved in the Maryland Society, and they have monthly calls with firm owners just to talk about what the society is doing, what the industry's where they see the industry going, things that might impact the CPA firms in Maryland. So I sit in on that. That's probably the extent of my involvement right now. I'm fairly tapped out at the moment. So any more volunteer, I mean, you can only do so much, right?
Yeah.
At some point you got to start prioritizing. AICPA is a priority for me. I would like to get more involved in the CFP section. Haven't really done anything with them, but yeah.
So do you have any other hobbies besides volunteering with AICPA?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see, what do I like to do? I read. I like to ride a bike. I like to kayak. I did, what did I do? There's a mountain, the Potomac River is right where we're at. And so there's Mount Vernon, which was George Washington's childhood home. And there's a trail that goes from, all up and down the Potomac called the Mount Vernon Trail. And, I did that. I bicycled that this weekend on Saturday. I did, 37 miles, I think. So it's
that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's fun. So I do that. I go for runs. What else do I do? I still like to shoot guns. That's been taking that, being a gunslinger in the Marine Corps and then being a gunslinger for that private company. And then, I might do security at church as well. So, and then I'll shoot on the side.
Wow. That's always amazed me when people, they like super, super busy, but still have time to do exercise, to do their hobbies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you have to make time, right? I mean, life is so fragile, and it is here for a moment and then it is gone. Just the brevity of it is what's shocking. I look back and, my life is half over, right? More than half over, you didn't know how old I was, but I'll tell you, my life is more than half over. And so it goes by so quick. And do you want to be sitting on your deathbed thinking, I wish I worked more, right? No, you're going to say, hey, I wish good grief, I wish I took better care of myself, so maybe I wouldn't be here so soon. I wish I spent more time with my kids. I wish I spent more time with my family. I wish I got out and rode that bike more. I wish I got on my kayak and hit the Potomac more, rather than just, sitting in my office, pumping out tax returns, trying to make more money, right? Life is more than the abundance of things, right? It's in relationships, and it's in experience, and you have to make time for that, because they won't make time for themselves. You got to actively do it.
I really enjoy your life journey. I enjoy your accounting journey, but I feel like I'm more passionate about your life journey.
It is. Life is as adventurous as you make it, right? No one is going to make it out of here alive. So do what, try to do some cool stuff, right? There's a saying, those who seek to save their life will lose it. And if those who seek to lose it will save it. And so, I don't know, just don't be afraid. Get out and do some adventurous things. Life is an adventure. Right?
That's a great advice for life. How about some advice for young accountants or young CPAs at this time?
Well, I would say, let's see. That's a great question. Advice. Focus on what you like doing. I would say a key to success is find out what you don't like doing and stop doing it. Right? I did not enjoy doing audits, so I stopped doing that. I feel like I became more successful because of that. And then once I did that, I was able to focus on what I enjoyed. And where your focus goes, your energy flows. Right? And so you'll have more energy for it. You'll want to push through. When it's tough, like, man, this sucks, but I like the work. Let's do it. Let's keep going. And to that extent, dedication. Be dedicated in whatever cause that you're doing. Give yourself over to it completely. Be determined. No matter what happens, I'm determined to achieve this goal. And then hard work. Right? People say, you hear it all the time. Oh, you should work harder, work smarter, not harder. That is a lie. Right? You need to work smart. Absolutely. And then once you're working smart, work as hard as you possibly can. There's coming a time when you will not be able to work hard, whether due to life circumstances or the ravages of age, right? And so, make hay while the sun shines and put in the hard work now, and it will pay off. Work hard. So many people don't want to work hard these days, and I think COVID has a lot to do with that, but work hard.
I agree. It will pay off.
Yep.
It will pay off in the future as long as you work hard and then stay determined, as you said. I think stay determined is something people for me to be doing really good. That's what I can see from my husband. He's super, super determined. When he needs to get anything done, he will get it done by any price.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's harder, I find I'm at a stage in my life where I have kids, right? And I'm my determination. I'm determined to get things done, but sometimes the circumstances are, hey, Chris, it's 5:00. You got to go. Like you can't, I cannot stay and work, or I have to leave early because I got to go pick up my kids. So if you have the opportunity to grind it out, do it while you can. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris, for the conversation today, to share with us your life journey and your accounting journey.
Thank you for having me, Rosie. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Hold on, Chris. Let me just hold on. Stop.